What's up and what's going on, y'all? Okay, this is gonna be a late ass review, and not only that, bitch, it's 4th of July. So if you hear fireworks, okay, going on, just know that that's what's going on. It's not shots, okay? Yes, a girl lives in the hood, but okay, that's not what it is, okay? And then also, if you hear cars going by, bitch, that's just what you're gonna hear in all my videos. Like this video to get me out the hood. But anyway. Anyways, 90 Day Fiance, season 11, episode 20. Okay, this is the tell all part 2. Okay, baby, I'm recording this video real late, but here I am, better late than never. So anyways, let's get into it. So we pick off where we left off on the last episode, okay? She kind of says to Annie that she didn't call her trans. She only asked if she was trans. Baby, I don't know what the difference is. I feel like asking is kind of insinuating that Annie is trans. Either way, it was a kind of disrespectful question because, like, if a trans person wants you to know that they're trans, they're gonna let you know that they're trans. Other than that, it's none of your fucking business. Get what I'm saying? I don't know. That's just how I saw it. Like, she was being shady. She kind of was being shady. Not gonna lie. I feel like she was trying to insinuate that Annie wasn't giving fish. Like, get what I'm saying? Like, why would you say that? You was being shady, baby. And that's the thing, though. That's the thing. I feel like people who get surgery, like Shekinah does, Amani, you get like Darcy's, the Stacy's, baby, people who get surgery like that, I feel like you are disqualified from talking about people's looks. Period. Like, I feel like everybody can't talk about nobody looks, but like I feel like especially if you went and got your face, you ran to the doctor, okay? Got your face all chopped up and screwed, baby. Yeah, you ain't got no room to talk about anybody's face because I feel like you tapped out of, reality, I guess. I don't know. That's just how I see it. Get what I'm saying? So yeah, I wasn't feeling that too much, Shekinah. I forgot to rate this episode too. Actually, I actually like this episode more than last week's episode. So I'm out of 5. I'm going to rate this episode of the Tell All probably a 3.3 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5 maybe. It was better than last week's episode. I'll say that. Okay. Back to what I was saying. So yeah. Amani, okay, was supposed to help Annie out with her rent. We get on this topic right here. Okay. It was $4,000. I got questions. Now, why is it $4,000? Are we talking about 4,000 American dollars, 4,000 pesos, or is that what they use in Mexico? I don't know. $4,000? Are you trying to pay it all in full? Okay, because it's like $4,000 for rent. Like, I don't know. Okay, okay. Annie and Juan get into a little fight. Okay, little argument. Juan says that if she's tripping over $4,000 not being sent, then that's a red flag. Okay. I mean, like, if this was a real relationship, yeah, that would be a red flag. Get what I'm saying? Um, that's just how I see it. That's how I see it. So Annie says to Juan, basically in so many words, mind your business, okay? And she brings up how Juan cheated on his wife, which I just don't understand. Like, I feel like Annie was trying to like deflect or switch the conversation up to something else so that she wouldn't be held accountable to what the fuck she's doing. Okay. One basically tells her, okay, but back to the topic though, you're in this for the fucking money. Okay. And then Annie goes, it turns into a whole game of who makes more than who, really. Like big bank take little bank or whatever. Like, okay. Annie was like, I know how much you make on them cruise ships, this, that, and the third. And like, this is what I don't like. We are getting to the job shaming territory, which is kind of stupid. What are we doing, Annie? What are we doing? Like, and I'm not even saying this in a ex shaming type of way, but like I feel like, what are we doing? Like, why are we job shaming right now? Because I feel like Juan didn't job shame you, so like I just feel like, I don't know. That was like a low blow to me. Okay, so like, so I don't know. I don't know. So Juan, in so many words, says basically, if you bankrolling so much, right? Doing what you do, dancing at the club, shouldn't you be, you shouldn't be sweating no $4,000, basically. If you make so much money doing what the fuck you do, you shouldn't be worried about no damn $4,000. You shouldn't be, almost blowing a gasket over no $4,000, bitch, as we seen. Well, she didn't too much blow a gasket. She just packed up her shit and left, you know. But like it showed that like she really didn't give a fuck. Like once they told her no, okay, we can't give you money or something, like, she basically didn't want anything to do with them. Now I know Annie and Matt are not a real storyline or something like that, but like, based off what we're seeing, that's like, okay, you know, yeah, girl, you're not here for them. Um, I know a lot of people will say, they will counter this by saying, yeah, Annie has to leave work and go film this show with Annie and Matt, or Annie, Brenda has to leave work so she could go on these vacations or whatnot. But my thing is, like, so does Amani. Amani got to leave work. I imagine Amani has to leave work, and probably, and even if she doesn't leave work, even if she's like a remote work type of person, I imagine with filming the show and whatnot, and like even if this relationship was real, I imagine with all that, she wouldn't be working as much as she is, or she's used to working. So Amani is not, Amani has to leave her job, right, to come down to Mexico and hang out with you and Matt. Girl, get what I'm saying? Matt is just along for the ride, really. But yeah, she got to leave Mexico. Leave California. Leave all her shit, her kids, and all that good stuff to come hang with you over here in Mexico and this, that, and the third. And she not asking nobody for no $4,000. So I just feel like if you really bankrolling like that, if you really like that girl at the strip club, which is okay to admit that, like, girl, a lot of strippers, they earn normal wages just like me and you. It's just the fact that they get paid faster that blinds people. But like, girl, it's strippers out here that make $50,000 a year. They won't be honest about it, but yeah. Yeah, and then they're too prideful to go and get, like, I won't say a real job because stripping is a job too, but they're just too prideful to probably like go see what else is out there. They want to keep up this facade, so they stay where they are. Well, that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother story, baby. But what was I saying? So yeah, if Annie don't have to go and ask people for $4,000 for her rent, she could have shit taken care of because she got enough finances to take care of shit if she goes on vacation. Why don't you, Miss Moneybags? You know what I'm saying? Like, are y'all with me here? Annie is trying to portray herself as this money getting bitch. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I love a hustling bitch. However, the shit just gotta make sense. And this is why I say, if you let people talk long enough, they will reveal themselves. Annie is trying to make it seem like she makes all this money and she's bankrolling and, like this, that, and the third. And yet here you are asking for $4,000 for your rent. Girl, if you were really that girl in the booty club, okay, if you were really like, getting your shit, like getting money like that, you wouldn't be asking nobody for no fourth. This wouldn't even be a topic of you being on national TV asking somebody for $4,000 for rent. It just gotta make sense here. It gotta make sense. As far as we know, Juan's not on national TV asking nobody for no $4,000 for his rent. Okay. Hello. Okay. So tied to that, right? Annie says she never asked Amani for no money. Annie says she's never asked Amani for money. Okay? My thing is, if you've never asked Amani for money, how did Amani know that you needed $4,000 for your rent? How'd that come about conversation? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just want to know. I just, like, you know, see, you gotta let people talk, and then shit just comes out, okay? The truth comes out as when they talk long enough, okay? So Sean asks Amani if Annie has ever asked for money, and Amani says yes. This bitch has asked me for money. So it's just the lies. It's the lies. Annie, you a liar, and you're not a good one. You get what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So the cast votes. Okay, Sean asks, "Hey, do y'all think, raise your hand if you think Annie is in it for the money or not?" And then a majority of them raise their hands, of course, because, like, it's just not looking good for you, Annie girl. Like, I know this is like, a not get rich, but this is like a get money quick scheme. Get what I'm saying? Like, just be honest about it. Just be honest, baby. That's it. All right. Next, they go to break, okay? Amani and Matt. Okay, they pull Sarper to the side, and they pull Sarper and Shekinah to the side. Now this is like, Amani's been on some weird shit. Amani and Matt been on some weird shit this whole fucking reunion, bitch. So they pull Sarper and Shekinah to the side, and honestly, they didn't have to pull Shekinah to the side. They just wanted to, like, have her there so that she could hear them, Amani and Matt, so that Shekinah could hear Amani and Matt praise Sarper. Okay, some weird ass shit like that. Like, girl, it was just too much. Like, what are y'all doing? It was some sneaky ass shit. So Shekinah, she peeps the fake shit, okay, and walks away. Girl, I would have did the same thing, because, like, I just don't have the time. Like, everybody was coming at Shekinah this episode, and that's how you know you that bitch. You're that bitch to look out for. Like, that's it. That's it. But we'll get into that even more, because another cast member noticed it too. But yeah. Okay. So Sarper, once Shekinah walked off or whatever, because, like, like, y'all was really, like, trying to play in this girl's face. Shekinah walks off. Sarper stands there. Okay. And they talk shit. Amani and Matt talk shit about Shekinah. And Sarper just stands there. Okay. Not defending Shekinah at all. So Shekinah got mad about it. But to be fair, I will say, Shekinah, how many times has Sarper sat down with either your friends or your family, sisters or whatever, the Witch's Cove, and you let them say whatever about Sarper, and I don't think I remember you once jumping in and saying, "Hey, you can't say that. Hey, not too much on my man. My man, my man, my man." Hello. You never done that. So I feel like, girl, that's fair game, baby. Fair game. I feel like Matt and Amani this whole time were just fighting for, like, I feel like this was their last chance to have some kind of importance on this show. You know what I'm saying? Last ditch effort to, like, really impress the producers into, like, bringing them back. I feel like, I hope they don't bring them back, but I feel like they might. They might, girl. Because, these producers, they don't listen to us. So, that's that. Okay. So, they're back on the couches. All right. Sarper all of a sudden has a wedding band for Shekinah. Wedding band, wedding ring. Okay. I don't know what the difference is. Okay. But he all of a sudden has one, off the stage. I was like, what is this? What are we doing? What are we doing? It's just so weird. Like, I feel like that's something you could have gave her afterwards, because like I just don't think it was that important. Like, granted, Shekinah did bring it up in the first part of the tell-all and she was mad about it. However, I just don't feel like it was important to do. I don't know. So while he's giving that to Shekinah, Amani and Matt are making slick comments underneath their breath. Okay? Like, really talking shit. It's just too much. Like, I was like, okay, it's giving real hater energy. I don't Amani and Matt, they're just too hungry for the fame. Like, I get it. People get on this show to let's say get Instagram followers and stuff like that, you know, like TikTok followers, just become an influencer. Um they're too hungry for it, and you could see it. You could see it with other people too. But them, it's like, okay. Okay, you know you don't have to do all this. Like, what did you try to at least be a likable person? I don't know. I don't know. So they go on break again. This is what I noticed during this reunion. Baby, they had like about 15, 20 breaks. I was like, okay, they go on break for 5 minutes or something like that. Sean was like, okay, let's go on break so that Sarper and Shekinah could like bask in their wedding band glow. Baby, they're already married. What the fuck is this? But anyways, they go on break for 5 minutes. Honestly, I feel like it's because probably Sean needed to take a shit real quick. I don't know. I don't know. But they come back, okay. Juan says that there isn't work in Wyoming. We're on to Jessica and Juan now, okay? There isn't work in Wyoming. Baby, yeah, I mean, I believe that. I believe that. What is Juan supposed to do? You take somebody who's used to city life. You take somebody that's used to, you know, being around different cultures. You take somebody that's used to being on a cruise, like around water, and you bring him to Wyoming? Oh, girl. Okay. So some girl named Danielle comes out. I probably didn't see her season or her, you know, I don't know what show she was on. The other 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way, or Before the 90 Days. It could have been one of those. Baby, I just jumped back into the 90 Day Fiance thing. So forgive me for not knowing who Danielle is. However, I don't think I'll probably be a big fan of hers, just based off of what I seen in this reunion. So yeah. Jessica's friend Megan also comes out. Megan spelled with an I. Okay. Um they asked Megan, okay, basically, what the fuck her deal is with Juan, not Wand. Juan. What is your deal with Juan? And what the fuck did you mean by you'd ruin his life if you know, basically anything were to happen in Jessica and Juan's relationship? Yes. And then it was just, I don't know. I know it was probably edited the way this way, but Megan responds with bitch bye. She says no, bitch bye, which I was so confused. I'm like, see, this is the stupid shit I'm talking about. The producers probably edited it that way. I feel like they asked Megan another question or something like that, or Megan was probably reacting to something else, and you know, they clipped that one part where she said no, bitch bye, to as her answer to that question that they asked, because it just didn't flow well. I was like, that don't even, it just didn't sound right. I don't know. But even if, let's say that's what she really said in response to that question, I feel like Jessica should have jumped in real quick. Okay, this girl is disrespecting your man for no reason. You gotta jump in, babe. You gotta jump in. Cause the hell? Like, hell no. I couldn't be with no partner who would allow his friend to disrespect me. Like, what kind of party is this? Anyways, Anyways, yeah, just she should have nipped that in the bud. Juan just wants to be on a cruise. Juan loves the cruise. Okay, he loves working on the boats, below deck, down under. That's what Juan wants to do. That's what he's passionate about, and I feel like it's sad, but I feel like Juan is trying to do the right thing by staying with Jessica, marrying her because they had a child together. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to be a good father, and but I feel like in the same breath he's giving up on his dreams and stuff like that too. Which is it's a tough predicament to be in. But honestly speaking, Juan, I don't think I'd blame Juan if he were to go back on the cruise ships. What the fuck is he supposed to do in Wyoming? I want Jessica to be realistic here. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so the topic of DMs comes up. Juan be replying back to them DMs, girl. Juan does not want to be. That's what I'm saying. It just ties into. I just feel like Juan does not want this. Like, main reason why he's even entertaining Jessica like this, is because they had a kid together. That's it. That's all. Okay. So turns out everybody's DMs be jumping on this show. Even Greg's. Baby, who is out here DMing Greg? Like, okay, girl, let me stop. Let me be nice, cause Greg, he ain't did nothing to nobody. He is a mama's boy. Don't like that, but he ain't did nothing to nobody. Okay, so yeah, Shekinah says Danielle was in Sarper's DMs before, at a previous reunion, right? So before previous reunion, Danielle messaged Sarper something along the lines of good luck or something like that. But she didn't. Danielle did not message Shekinah. Okay, and Shekinah brought that up. Like, bitch, you messaging my man on some good luck shit. Bitch, why didn't you DM me? Why didn't you message me on some good luck shit? Yeah, that's like, no. And in a way, I kind of understand, because bitch, it's just the optics of it is just not good. Why are you DMing my man? It's just not good. It's just, I don't know. It gets sneaky a little bit. Like, okay. Okay. Like, well, I wasn't worth good luck or something, bitch. I don't know. It is what it is. Okay. Amongst the arguing, okay, Amani calls Shekinah shallow. Okay. She fixes her lips to say that Shekinah is shallow. Yes, Amani in her new face calls Shekinah shallow. Okay, you went and got like 27 and a half surgeries, bitch, and you calling somebody shallow. All right. Danielle says she's not desperate because she doesn't have to work out of her house. I don't know what the fuck that meant. Like, what does that mean, Danielle? A lot of people work out their house remotely, or they provide a service out their house. Like, what does that mean, Danielle? Like, I don't know. Desperate. Like, what does desperation have to do with? First of all, I just feel like everybody on the show has some kind of level of desperation because you signed up to be on this show. Get what I'm saying? So, let's talk desperate, I guess. I don't know. Baby, we're still like, you and Shekinah are on the same stage. Okay? So if she's so desperate, you're sharing the stage with a desperate bitch. How does desperate bitch get on the stage with you? I mean, or you get on stage with her, because really you're a guest at this fucking reunion. But, okay. Anyway, so they go on another break because that's what they like to do. I feel like these breaks are, because that this season wasn't that, impactful. It wasn't that great. So they use these breaks to muster up some kind of drama that they could go and talk about on a stage. I feel like that's what they're doing. Okay. I was like, I've never seen a reunion with this many breaks. But Maddie, okay, I don't know what, I feel like a producer got in his ear and told him, hey, you need to get off your ass and like actually go shake some shit up. Cause everybody, at this reunion had a little something going. And Grant said, at the first part of this reunion, Maddie and Stevie, they had their little moment, okay, with, the gay slash bisexual allegations or whatever. But for the most part, they've been quiet this whole reunion. And I feel like the producers gave them a nudge, like, hey, baby, if you really want to earn this check, y'all got to go shake some shit up. And I feel like that's exactly what happened. So Maddie tells Shekinah, he comes up to Shekinah and tells her that she has so many haters, which I peeped too, because like I feel like everybody was coming at Shekinah this reunion. I was like, damn, like it tells me a lot. Like it's either y'all jealous, envious, like girl, I don't know. Okay, and usually I don't know. I don't think I like Shekinah as a person, but like I just feel like y'all are dogpiling on her for no reason. Like, especially Amani ass. Amani weird as hell. Okay, she's threatened by Shekinah. I could see it. I could see it. So Maddie all of a sudden jumps in the beef, okay, and calls out Danielle backstage because they're backstage eating, okay. Danielle tells Maddie to get his finger out of her face. So I feel like this is where we have some kind of misunderstanding here. First of all, Maddie was, I'd say, 10 feet, 15 feet away from Danielle. And, he was speaking and he was using his hands. Okay. Now, Danielle gets up from her seat and walks up to his finger. Okay. And tells him, she walks up to his finger and tells him to get his finger out of her face. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? I feel like a lot of people missed that. And honestly, I feel like a lot of people try to pull the angry Arabic man, the misogynistic Arabic man narrative. And I feel like that's wrong as hell. Because Maddie was just doing what most of us do. He was speaking with his hands. He wasn't being disrespectful. I don't think so. I just feel like everybody, it was misconstrued, misunderstood. I don't know. But yeah, people were running with that narrative. And I'm like, what are we doing? Okay. What are we doing here? He was simply speaking with his hands. He wasn't being disrespectful in the way I see it, okay? I don't know. That's just the way I see it. Sorry, my baby spooks. Okay. Spooky. Okay. He running around. So, Maddie says that he doesn't like liars. Okay, that's what amplified him to, not amplified, but that's what energized him to go and jump into this beef. He's saying that he doesn't like liars. He's calling Danielle a liar because he feels like Danielle lied about Shekinah paying for interviews or something like that. And I'm like, girl, like, where's this coming from? I was just so confused because Maddie just got heated out of nowhere talking about I don't like liars. I feel like if you don't like liars, Maddie, you should have jumped on Annie because Annie was the one lying her ass off in the beginning of this reunion. So that's that on that. Okay. So Danielle tells Maddie to get his finger out her face. It was like a big kerfuffle type of situation. Aaliyah is in the corner eating. I said, hell yeah, girl. Aaliyah said, baby, I'm just here for my check. Okay. Let me eat. And I'm out the drama just like I like it. Girl, Aaliyah is me. Like, I'm not in the drama, but I'll watch. I will watch, okay, front and center. Anyways, they come back, okay, and it's Mina and Mark's turn to be interrogated, I guess. Can we even call it an interrogation? Sean barely asks like any hard hitting questions. I feel like the good questions, crazy enough, come from the other cast members. I just feel like they should just have a round table or something like that, or the previous people. Like sometimes, like I kind of see what they're doing with like bringing it the past, cast of 90 Day Fiance previous seasons. I see what they're doing. I don't know if I like it too much because I feel like it gets hypocritical. It could get hypocritical really fast. But yeah, so Mina used to make it clap in the booty club. Mina used to be a midnight ballerina. Mina used to be a scripper. Okay. She says that no, that's not how she met Mark. Okay. How did they meet? Does anybody know? Did they say it in the first episode? I don't know. I wasn't paying attention too much. I just know that she got on a plane, her wig was fresh, and they went to New Hampshire. That's all I remember. But yeah. And then his family put her through hell. And she was crying for a little bit. Okay. She just she just stopped crying, a couple episodes ago. But that's that. Okay. So she said she didn't meet Mark in the booty club. Okay. Turns out, so Sarper used to strip too. Who else? Mark used to work as a bartender. And then Matt, stupid ass. Okay, Matt felt like he had to jump in, and Matt said he used to strip too. So there you have it. We got Annie, Mina, okay, Matt. Yeah, 3 scrippers. Get your money. Anyways, so Jordan comes out, okay, and baby, I was like, oh, I got ready. I got ready. Okay, Jordan came out, and I was like, okay, so what the fuck she got to say? Okay, so anyways, turns out everything is all good. Okay, they worked out their differences. Okay, Jordan was like, hey, I overstepped my boundaries, basically telling my dad where to ejaculate and how many kids he could have and whatnot. She didn't say all that, but in so many words, they squashed the beef. Okay, they put their differences aside. So it is what it is. Mark says Mina is pregnant as a joke. Girl, I got so scared. I was like, what? I was like, oh, congratulations, girl. Congratulations. Yes, yes, yes. Mark says they be hunting raw though. Yeah. No protection, baby. So if they have a baby, yeah, they said they're not actively trying for a baby, but like, they still not using protection, which I just don't understand. Like, why do people do this? Like, what do you think is going to happen? Hello? I don't know. It's just, that's willful ignorance. I just feel like, because if a baby happens, wouldn't you want it to be on purpose? That's just how I see it. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't you want to plan for it a little bit? I mean, granted, Mark, his money is long, so he don't have to do too much planning like that, like, because he could get things fixed because the money is long. But anyways, that's that on that. So they got a flight planned to go see Clayton. Mina got her green card so she could travel and shit like that. So all is good. All is good. Okay. So after that, Sarper gets up. They let him tell his borderline misogynistic jokes or whatnot. Sarper gives himbo. I'm sorry. Sarper gives himbo. I don't like when he tries to be intentionally funny. He's one of the people that are intentionally funny, like just going about life crazy. But yeah, moving on. Sean and Aaliyah. I feel like they're the last ones, last couple for this whole tell all. Okay, so they bring out Jackie, bottom heavy Jackie. Okay. And Sean tries to lie and say he didn't go on a honeymoon by himself. And then Jackie reveals that he's lying. Okay. Sean left this girl in the house, Aaliyah. Sean left her in the house for a whole month while he went on a honeymoon by himself and was out here ripping and running, was laying it low and spreading it wide, basically. I was like, wow, Wow. All because he says he was still mad about the wedding situation. Now, I understand that, but a whole month? I can understand, like, okay, a week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks max. A whole month? Yeah, no. I was like, wow. Like, and I understand, like, they have an open relationship. Okay. I don't, that's them. If they like it, I love it. Now, they have an open relationship, but to leave your partner for 2 weeks, I mean, not 2 weeks, but a whole month? Yeah, no. No. That's crazy as hell to me. So, yeah. Sean reveals that he had the stuff, like, for the wedding, right? Y'all remember how Leah took 2 hours to get ready for the wedding? Sean reveals that, hey, he basically set it up to the point where it was supposed to be very easy for Leah to get ready. Get what I'm saying? Like, he prepped the wig, he cornrowed her hair, and I'm figuring out, damn, like, Sean was the one that cornrowed Aaliyah's hair, because I like the braid down was neat and nice. Okay, I remember, I feel like in that review, I even shouted out the braid down because I was like, wow, it was precise. So I'm like, damn, Sean, like, you cornrow? Who knew? Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But anyways, so he set up everything during for the wedding. Aaliyah's part, okay, the bouquet, the wedding dress, okay, he got the hair styled. I feel like you should have just put the hair on her head too. But if we really being honest, that wig was it was a little bit of a turd because it was real thick in the parting section, baby. It was like, it was real thick, okay, but it just had to be plucked a little bit, the hairline part. But it's okay. I just want Aaliyah to redo it. I wish Aaliyah could redo the wedding look. I don't know. I see Aaliyah. I see bust down, a fierce long bust down, 30-inch bust down, 40, 50-inch bust down, 60, 70-inch bust down. Okay, I'm just kidding. Okay, a veil, a very sleek one. Okay, bitch. Oh, girl, we're not gonna get into it. Okay, so yeah. So he was mad because of the wedding day. Um, Sean says that Jackie did not help Aaliyah enough while Aaliyah was getting ready for the wedding. As we could see in the footage, she did not. I feel like because on it, 2 hours late, baby. If I notice, like, hey, we almost getting time, we're almost getting to the time that we gotta be out the door. Way before that, baby, I'm picking up a brush and I'm going like, what do you want me to blend, bitch? Like, but we didn't see that. We didn't see that. Jackie was simply reminding Aaliyah how late she was. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't think Jackie really helped her get ready enough. I mean, like, she did help her put on the dress, that abysmal dress, but she didn't too much help Aaliyah. Okay? The marriage is open, okay, like I said earlier. Sean doesn't find Aaliyah attractive, basically, because they asked him, and like, he kind of went around the answer, and to me that just says no. Like, it's a yes or no question, like, hello. So he doesn't find her attractive. Girl, I was like, why are you wasting this girl's time? I don't know. Okay. Sean claims that he loves Aaliyah, but I don't believe it. Okay. I feel like he probably loves her as a friend. That's it. That's it. Okay. I'm just like, the whole time I was just like, I was questioning, why are they even together? Okay. I feel like their relationship, it's planned. Okay. I'm not gonna say it's I'm gonna say it's staged, okay? I believe that yes, they did know each other before Aaliyah transitioned, okay? They met each other and all that good stuff. However, they got on the show to get the coin, okay? Not saying that Sean doesn't have the coin already, but they got on the show. Sean was like, hey, you know, I support you or whatnot, you know, things of that nature. I support you and what you're trying to do, and to help you, how about we get on this show, make some money, and then pay for the transition, pay for the gender affirming surgeries that you need. Get what I'm saying? I feel like that's what's going on. Okay, this is a scheme that Todd set up. All right, Aaliyah needs to find someone who loves her. Like, I feel normally, because this shit right here, it was heartbreaking for me to watch. I was like, wow, baby. When she pulled out that phone and started reading that note she did, I was like, girl, a tear came out, because I was like, I want my girl to be flourish and be happy, and not have to waste her time like this. I don't know. Okay, so the tell all ends, right, and Amani is running around hugging people goodbye. It was just so weird. It was like, okay, you could go now, girl. You could go now, girl. She's running around trying to hug people goodbye and shit like that. It was just too desperate. It was too desperate. Shekinah and Sarper and Maddie, they pay him dust, okay? Especially Stevie and Maddie. Stevie she kept it straight up. She said, "Oh, I don't feel comfortable even interacting with you or Matt," and I couldn't do nothing but respect it. I was like, yes, please keep it real, Stevie, because a lot of people would just walked up, gave her a hug. I'm like, no, ma'am. Like, if we really not feeling each other, why are we doing this? Like, girl, no. So yeah, after all that, Maddie and not Maddie, but after all that, Amani and Matt, they're the last ones to leave the tell-all, and it was just so weird. It's like, girl, they are ready to turn off the lights. They already mopped the floor. The wet floor sign is up. Okay, the tables are flipped over. Not the tables. The chairs are flipped over on the tables. Okay, why are y'all here? Like, girl, like you. And they just did too much. I hope we don't see him. But anyways, ending notes. Look, I hope we don't see Amani and Matt on any other spinoff, okay? Because I'm not watching, honestly. I feel like for me, it was a chore to get through this season because of how fake it was, the fake moments, just the fakery of it all. So any other show that Amani and Matt are gonna be on, count me out, okay? Aaliyah, don't waste too much of your time. All right, she's 25, I believe. Yeah, girl, don't waste too much of your time on Sean. Okay, like if this is the agreement y'all have to do the gender affirming surgeries and pay for it or whatnot, do it. However, move the fuck on. I want Aaliyah to find somebody who's down for Aaliyah. Okay. Juan, I want Juan to go ahead and go back on those cruise ships, okay? It's the only thing that's gonna bring him happiness. That's just what he loves to do. And I feel like for Jessica to tell him that no, you cannot do that or whatnot, I feel like that's rude. Not rude, but inconsiderate. Cause not for nothing, you met him on the cruise ships, baby. So it is what it is. That, like, girl, how you meet somebody who's doing what they love to do and then try to bring them down to, I would say your level, but where you are in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't even leave the state of Wyoming because you got the 2 other kids and the custody situation with all that. Like, that's just the dangers of, procreate. Like, you got to watch who you procreate with. That's all I'm trying to say. Whew, this is slippery Juan, but I don't know. I'm not saying Juan won't ever see his baby or whatnot, but Juan, just go on the cruise ships, because you trying to make what's the saying go? Dirt into a diamond in Wyoming? Yeah, no. No. Okay. And then last thought, I'd actually be interested in watching Mina and Mark on Happily Ever After. And yeah, that's that. That's all I got for this tell all. That's all I got for everybody. This season was, I wouldn't say it was the best. One of the worst, I'd probably say. I feel like one of the worst seasons was the season I tapped out on, and it was probably the Jabri and Miona season That's when I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm good on 90 Day Fiance. But I could go on a whole other rant on 90 Day Fiance, the heyday, okay, the prime, the downfall. I could go on a whole rant about that, but that's another video. That's another video. However, if you did like this video, I'd love if you left a like, please. um, leave a like, comment, let me know what your thoughts, okay? Subscribe, maybe. And I'll talk to y'all on another video. Peace out.